Good morning and welcome to Trent Hills Today. It's Wednesday, May the 2nd, and I'm not really complaining, but it's muggy out. I went for my run this morning and it's muggy. Fortunately, the weather won't be like that for the run on Sunday. But you know what? We shouldn't complain. We waited all this time for some beautiful weather. About 3 weeks ago we had freezing rain and we were all grounded and the world had come to a bit of a halt. So you know what, we're not complaining. But it's just, I think it's just such a sharp contrast. You know, we had some cool weather and gray and dismal, and then today it's actually quite muggy out. So it's Wednesday, the morning after council, and I have to tell you, well, there were only two things that were really interesting in council yesterday, and one of them is Bill Thompson is retiring, or he has decided not to run again, and he has served our community for 30 years. I think that's amazing. Can you imagine what changes he has seen over those years? I don't know that the community itself has changed that much in terms of new housing or, you know, some of those things. But just imagine when he started in council, what council was like then, and how that process has all changed. For those of you who haven't been to a council meeting, things have really changed. And one of the things I think we need to understand is that council meetings are not like you see on TV. People don't storm the bastion and say, you know, I want to be heard, I've got to talk. No, it's a very organized and civilized way of doing things. If you want to speak to a subject that is on the agenda, there is a little bit of an opportunity to do so. If you want to do a deposition to council, you have to go down and fill out a form, and then you'll be allowed to make your presentation. But I just can imagine all of the things that Bill Thompson has had his finger on in our community for the last 30 years. If you don't know Bill Thompson, he has a business just outside of town, heading east. He is the chainsaw man. He sells steel chainsaws. And he, you know, he's a man of few words. Well, certainly to me he is. He's always been very polite, very nice. But I just want to say a huge shout out to him. I think that's immense dedication to a community. And if you know Bill, wish him well. Thank him for his service. I think hopefully one of the newspapers, now that they've, you know, both done the firefighters, the Trent Hills Tribune did the firefighters, and Trent Hills Now did the firefighters. I think we've covered that off. Let's go and talk to Bill and see what he has to say and hear about his experiences and what he thinks are some of the lasting impacts he's had on our community. So there's a shout out to you, Bill. Thanks for your service. The other thing that was of interest in council last night was the water situation. We have had no snow for a couple of weeks. There may have been a bit of snow in shadowed areas, but up north I know Sudbury has been getting snow and everything drains down south to us. Crow River, as I drive over it, go over the, over the bridge, I can see how high it is when you see the people's properties with their patios are covered and their picnic tables are underwater. So there is some concern and it is being monitored. And so I think, just a word of caution: if you don't live near water, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you're walking your dog, or if you've got grandchildren, or even if you're walking, oh, look at this. I have my guest today, a cat. He'll stay with us for a while and then he'll leave. It's the curiosity of what's going on. So back to what I was saying. Water is high. Just exercise caution and be safe. Don't go too close to the shorelines, or you're going to find yourself maybe in trouble. And then you'll have to call the firefighters to save you. And you know what? Everybody works hard enough. Let's not make any silly mistakes. So here we are, wrapping up a number of events this weekend. It's going to be a wild and busy weekend, as it often is in Trent Hills. So one of the things that I wasn't able to get anybody to come and talk about was the spring walk, which is taking place in Warkworth. and it is on Saturday, May the 5th. And it starts at 9:30, and it's the check-in, 9:30 to 10:30, you're pledging donations, and there's a whole list of things that you can partake in. If you want more information, you can go to www.thebridgehospice.com/events. So that should be fun, a rubber ducky event. And don't forget, although it's still a little bit of a ways out, the 26th and the 27th, for the Lilac Festival, if you want to buy tickets for the Jazz Night, you're going to want to make sure you get your tickets soon. I know I'll be getting mine in a couple of days. I'll be heading out to Warkworth, and I'll be getting tickets for that. It sounds like it's a lot of fun. And you know what? It's nice to try things in other communities. You know, we live in Campbellford and we've got lots going on, but this is Trent Hills, and we can go to other areas and explore what they have going. Saturday is the fashion show. It's a fundraiser for the Campbellford Memorial Hospital. I will be modeling in that. I want to say thank you to Julia's in Sterling. I will be wearing some of her clothes. I went yesterday to try on some things, and you know, it's one thing when you're buying for yourself, but it's another when you feel you have to show the clothing to their best advantage. And a lot of ladies got there well before me, and I won't say they picked the best things, but you went, oh man, I would have really liked to have shown that one. But I've got my 3 outfits. I'm hoping that I do them justice. And if you haven't bought your tickets, they're $12. Saturday at the Legion, and it starts at 2 o'clock, so you can show up a little early. There'll be gifts from the gift shop there. There'll be raffle tickets, and you and your friends can get some seats and be prepared to be dazzled by all of the fashions. I should say that Zazoo's in Campbellford is also going to be partaking in this. Their models will be there as well. And again, thanks to Trent Mendes, who will have models there showing off their clothing for the spring. So you know what? It's another thing of bringing the community together. We're in this together. Shop local, support those who support us, and please come out and support the fashion show. Even if you're not a huge fan of fashion, for $12 you can have some coffee and tea. There'll be cheese and crackers and sweets. You know, as John Russell said at one of the events, Campbellford is all about food, so there'll be food. And you know, these ladies work so hard. I'd like to see them rewarded with an absolutely amazing turnout. And then there's the Sunday run, and I'm going to be reading a few things to you that I think are important if you're going to be running. I got my run in this morning. I managed to do 5K this morning. I'm comforted by the fact that there are 470 runners registered. Can you imagine? And not surprisingly, a lot of them are from outside the area. So I am confident that I just have to sort of go along to get along, and I'll make it through the 5 kilometers. But John Russell did send out some information that I think is important, and I'd like to read it to you so that you too will know what's going on, whether you're running or whether you have someone in your family who's running, and they should have this information. So there's an early pickup of race kits and bib numbers, which will take place on Saturday, May the 5th, from 10 to 2 at the Rotary Hall, 179 Saskatoon Avenue. The race day registration for all races is between 8:30 and 10:30. They ask you to arrive early because, of course, with that many people, it will be a bit overwhelming, and I know that they want to start on time. 5K and 10K participants will receive a Rani Gorge Run custom medal, race bib, and race kit, and access to online photos. We'd like to say thank you to Sharp Physiotherapy and Massage, which will be on site. Doreen Sharp and her staff will be on hand providing massages for the runners and will lead the runners on a pre-run warm-up at approximately 9:45. The official time for the 5 and 10K is 10 o'clock, and there will be the route will be marked. They say that fruit and water will be available to participants, and Slick's Burger Shack will be on site for participants and spectators who are interested in purchasing food. I don't think I'd be able to eat a hamburger after running 5K. The water, yes. Fruit, I don't know about that either, but I'm not sure that I'd like a hamburger. One of the things they do ask, and they do mention in this, is to carpool if you can. I will be arriving early and being dropped off so that the car can get out of the way. If we have people from outside our community who are coming here to participate, it would be nice if they could say, not only was it a great run and it was well organized, but parking was a snap. It may or may not be, but let's try and do that. If you can carpool and drop people off, that would be ideal. So that's what's happening on Saturday. There's an event tomorrow for the trails. We want Campbellford to be identified as a trail community. Registration for that is closed, but I will be going to that, and I will report back to you on Friday on what they had to say, because I think that's important. We have a beautiful community. We live in a wonderful location. We have woods and water, and walking and biking is something that we should all do. I did a shout out on Facebook to the Rotary Club for having such a beautiful and well-maintained trail along the canal. I ran that a couple of weeks ago. So you know what? Let's all chip in. Please try and participate in some of the things that are happening this weekend. If you're wondering if there's something else that you might be interested in, please go to either the Warkworth website, the Hastings website, or the Campbellford website. They all have Facebook pages that will tell you what's going on or what's coming up. And finally, I hope you've been enjoying these beautiful daffodils. They're from my garden, and I do sell cut flowers. If you feel that your winter has been long, dull, and colorless, hey, look at these beautiful daffodils. Just a note for those of you who may not know, please do not mix daffodils and tulips together. The daffodils have a bit of a poisonous sap that will shorten the life of your tulips. Both daffodils and tulips are lovely, long-lasting cut flowers, and for the most part, they're fragrant-free. So until next time, take care.